What's up, everybody? What's going on?
I have promised you that I was going to bring back a female rapper, and here she is. So, we're going to have you introduce yourself and the hood that you are repping.
My name is Lyrica. I'm going to spell it. Lyrica, Lyrica. I spelled it because people always ask, not because y'all stupid. I'm from Long Island, exit 21 to be specific. That's Roosevelt. What's good? What's going on, man?
All right. I want you to tell me what's the meaning behind that name, though, because, you know.
First stage name was Lady Trump.
Lady Trump.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be interesting if you had that name today?
I would not have it today. No. But it was more about his money and his business, more so than about his ideals. And then it changed to Lioness, and it was more so like, what is your inner animal?
The inner animal, that's really interesting. Okay, yeah. Okay. So start.
And then it changed because it was just like, this is cheesy, and I don't want to run around and be identified with an animal. Like, so then it went from I love the word lyric. So then it was, how do I get that in my name without it being too long or too much of a force?
Well, that's a very interesting way.
That works.
Selecting a name for yourself, a stage name, right?
Yeah,
okay. So, you've been working with producer Craze Beats lately, huh?
Lately, about 10 years.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how long have you known him? How far back y'all go? And how did you meet? Let's just start there. How did you meet Craze?
It was sophomore year of college for me. And I was working at Target in Westbury. And at the time, dating this guy, and he told me to turn my poetry into rap.
Okay.
So then I decided to try it, and he said, he was just like, your brother makes beats, you write poetry. Why don't you try and rap? So then that's how it happened, and I practiced on my brother's beats or whatever, and tried to rap. And then my brother, I asked him, I said, what's wrong with my music? And he was just like, he's like, honestly, I said, yes, I didn't ask you. So he goes, well, your delivery and your flow is off. So it was just like, okay. And that was only a couple months into it, and it was more so because I was still sounding poetic.
Right. Well, it was a learning process,
right.
I'm sure.
So then I just kind of shut up and wrote for a year.
Okay.
And then when I got the nerve to go to the studio, it was like, I think I'm ready. I got a full song or whatever. Went to the studio, and this is the time I was working at Target. Brought the song to work, let Craze hear it, because we had previous conversation that he had the music. And he listened to it, and he's just like, you paid how much for this? Why would you pay that much for what they gave you? And I was just like, I don't know. My first time in the studio, I was trying to rap. He was just like, come to my studio. I'll charge you half. And I'm just like, okay.
Okay, I hear about that. So tell me about some of the local performances that you've done. Have you been around town? You hit up some of the little spots around here? Or let's say, what was the last one you've done?
What was the last one? That's actually a good question. I believe it was the show I headlined for the Earwax sessions at Amityville Music Hall. Shout out to them.
Okay.
So yeah, I had performed there and headlined because I had performed maybe a handful of times before, and once you get your traction up with a certain platform, then you're allowed to headline. So then around Long Island, just Amityville Music Hall, the Vibe Lounge. I've done shows in Brooklyn. I've done shows, actually performed or opened up for 2 Milli one year. There's no video, sorry, but it was a great show.
Okay.
Well, I got one in Queens coming up.
You got one in Queens coming up, so that counts as well, and that's going to be getting all around the city, and it's good to know that you're being heard. So speaking of being heard, what's the name of the project that you're working on right now?
There's actually two.
Okay.
Or at least it evolved into two, and that is Love and Light, and Notes to Self.
Okay.
So,
What's the difference between the two projects? What would you say is the difference in the music or the concept?
well, it's funny because it's all kind of related, except the focus is different on both, on either. So, how do I explain? The Notes to Self is more about, life and coming to realization and self-awareness. And then Love and Light is heartbreak and growth and healing.
Okay.
So they could be one album, but in today's time, putting 17 to 18 songs on the track is a gamble, especially at my stage. So
Okay.
I'm going to piecemeal it and give them, kind of side A, side B situation.
Well, that's nice that you had a chance to even think about it, because a lot of people don't even think about anything. They just want to put it out, and there's no method behind the madness.
Yeah, I'm trying to maybe, so
Oh my
there's
God.
albums, and it can be cohesive, but there's albums where it's kind of two different focuses, and it'll jump from, I'm trying to do this for myself, I'm trying to do that. Oh, you broke my heart, I hate you. And it's just like,
I can relate to
that type of,
Yeah.
it's just, when you have somebody who's not maybe into rap or maybe into your R&B side, they just gotta skip around your album.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily want people to skip around.
Right.
So,
See, I'm not in your new project. Out of one of the two projects, which one would you say had your favorite track? And
There's so
was it-
many. I want to say the Rant, Broken Dreams. The Rant is produced by Day Murder. Broken Dreams is produced by Craze Beats, along with Southern State, which is produced by Craze Beats. The Light, which is produced by
Well, you have a
Fugitive
lot of
Beats,
favorites.
by
That's good
Hood
though.
Society, which is Crazy
That
Beats.
means you love
You
the
know-
music, and that's,
Yeah,
that's
you know what's
fantastic.
funny too, because I'm really underestimating that album. It's on SoundCloud. But my best friend reminded me the other day that it was hot, and I kind of just went through it, and I'm just like, it is hot.
Sometimes you have to revisit your work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then she's
and
like, I
you
should
just
have
have a
pushed
brand new
this more.
perspective.
Yeah, and she was like, you got to push this more. So
Wow, that's good.
actually,
that's
two
good.
songs that I'm performing in my Queen show is from that album, Done Dreaming, and then the last song is gonna be on. I haven't decided actually, which is funny. Notes to Self or Love and Light, because it's kind of a shift in the song, but the whole it's Love and Light. It's gonna go on Love
Two
and Light.
projects at once.
Yeah.
Is, I'm sure it's a lot of work and a lot of thought that has to go into it. Anyway,
Yeah.
So who would you say influenced you in music?
Typical, we gotta go with the first one, which is Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
And then you have Eve and, DMX and the rest of the Rough Riders and Nas and
Oh.
the Locks and, Jadakiss and those guys. And then Noriega and the old school, the jazz, the music that has no words. My father would play a lot of jazz. My mother, she played a lot of like soul, Patti LaBelle and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a summation of
Yes.
my parents plus my brothers and sisters, because as the youngest kid, I didn't really have a choice on what we listened to, watch. So it's just like, gotta listen to what the older kids are doing or doing what they're doing. So that was the music that they fell in love with, and in turn I was just like, how do they like this stuff so much? And I end up, picking up on it. But
Okay. So let's, one more question I have to ask you. How can the people out there find you? You give us your social media. Where are you? Facebook,
Yes.
Instagram, Twitter. What you got?
I'm on Instagram at _Lyrica. Come with me. I'm gonna show y'all something. Alright, you might learn how to, get dapper and all that.
Yes, because check out the threads here. Check out the threads.
And you'll learn.
I
little
must
something.
say, it's always sharp and on point.
Click
And
the
that
link
is
in
the
the
truth.
bio.
That is the truth.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Click and link in the bio. We here, man. Wait, guys. Where's the show? Is at Epstein's.
Yes, we want to talk about an
Queens.
up and coming event that you have.
Yeah, September 28th, man. 2018. Yeah, come through. It's a Friday. Yeah, it's a Friday. Get your Friday on. Listen to some live music.
Yes.
Some live acts, some live energy.
I'll definitely be in house.
Yes. Crazy Beats, Crazy World. We here, man.
All right.
Naps only.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. And I'll be back next time with one of my next hot artists. So let's say peace to Lyrica. Thanks for coming through. Peace to all of you. And there you have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay.
Everybody wanna be famous, everybody wanna be a star. Get rich, some go brainless. I was told just be who you are. And with you I could do that. Always I'ma do that with y'all. Please. Just. Damn. This sound like summer, I sound like summer.